This is task group number 10 and we will be focusing on Senate Bill 77. This bill was sponsored by Texas Senator Jane Nelson, who is also chair of the Senate Finance Committee. So what is Senate Bill 77 all about? The need for this legislation derives from a case in Flower Mound, Texas, where a woman was brutally raped by her husband, and even after his conviction, his parental rights could not be terminated because this crime is not part of the grounds to terminate parental rights. The purpose of this bill is to add sexual assault of the other parent as a means to terminate parental rights because it is not included in the 22 grounds to terminate parental rights. Currently, there are 22 states that allow the termination of parental rights if the parent was convicted of sexual assault, which resulted in the birth of a child. Other states restrict or prohibit custody or visitation, which is also if the child was conceived because of a rape or sexual assault. The Texas Family Code 161.007 focuses on the termination of parental rights when the pregnancy results from a criminal act. A rape can affect the victim in multiple ways. It can affect them psychologically, physically, and emotionally. These can include a diminished self-worth, feelings that they deserved it, depression, PTSD symptoms, low self-esteem and body image, and also negative feelings toward men and sex. Physical consequences include abdominal cramps, lacerations, soft tissue injuries, abrasions, miscarriages, bladder infections, and vaginal bleeding. Little is known about the effects on children. However, it has been found that raped and battered women are more violent to their children than women who are only battered. Since children who witness physical abuse between their parents are more likely to be in physical abusive relationships as adults, children who witness sexual assault may be more likely to be in sexually assaultive relationships as adults. Furthermore, most wife rape incidents occur within marital violence, so children that have witnessed a rape may experience the effects of marital violence. This includes the children being forced to grow quickly, and their social life is also affected. As an infant, they can experience sleeping problems, poor health, and excessive crying. In middle childhood, they may attempt to interfere with the violence or lose respect for their mother. As an adolescent, they may also attempt to interfere with the violence or prevent their mother from leaving the relationship. Risk factors of marital rape is if there's machismo, if there's physical or sexual violence early in marriage, if there's emotional and physical abuse, if the perpetrator demonstrates physical and psychological aggression, if there's a lower marital quality and continuous disagreements, if there's disagreements in intimacy, if there's violence in victim's family of origin, and also if there's alcohol and drug use involved.
Let's talk about some interesting facts that have to do with Senate Bill 77. Let's start by defining wife rape. Wife rape is a term used to describe sexual acts committed without person's consent and or against a person's will by a woman's husband or ex-husband. When a woman submits to sexual acts out of fear or coercion, it is considered rape. Today, it is a crime in all 50 states for a man to rape his wife. How often does this happen, you ask? 10 to 14% of women have reported at some point in their lives being raped by their husband or ex-husband. Nearly 7.8 million women have been raped by an intimate partner. The fact that there is no visible evidence of violence does not mean that a woman has not been raped. Not only do wives have to deal with being raped by women, so do single women. Let's talk about pregnancy as a result to a sexual assault. Many of sexual assault victims become pregnant as a result of rape. 32.2% of sexual assault victims opt to keep their children. When these women decide to keep their children, they are faced with having to deal with their rapists. Rapists have used their parental rights to coerce their victims not to file charges against them or to testify against them during a rape trial. How often does this happen? An estimated 25,000 rape related pregnancies are reported in the U.S. each year. While there are no studies that report how many rapists have parental rights, women have spoken of the torment they are forced to endure as a result of sharing parental rights with the man who raped them. 30.4% of rapists are spouses, 23.7% are family members, and 20% are associates. There are 22 states that allow for termination of parental rights if the parent was convicted of sexual assault which resulted in the birth of a child. Normally, a conviction is needed before the parental rights are terminated, but only 37% of the rape cases reported to the police end with a criminal prosecution of the rapist. Connecticut, Missouri, Montana, Oregon, Tennessee, and Texas give the courts the freedom to choose to terminate all parental rights if the child came from a sexual assault or a forcible rape and the father has been convicted.
Now that we have provided an overview of Senate Bill 77, let's move on forward with the provided implications at the macro level that we can provide as an individual, community, and organization. In most cases, victims will remain quiet due to fear or the lack of resources they are unaware of or have not come across with. Therefore, intervention for parental rights before and after the process should consist of having the appropriate tools. For example, women should not hesitate to look for agencies that can provide them with social adjustment services and legal aspects regarding termination of parental rights, simply because they may be aware of certain victims who are in a tough decision on whether to have an abortion or not because of the values and moral aspects in their lives. And women should always be aware that they will never be alone in this situation. Definitely focus on different levels, the individual, family, neighborhood, and social culture, as all of these are aspects that play a huge role in the women's future life. This issue should definitely be resolved as well. Um, some of the implications consist of looking for agencies that can provide them with social adjustment services. Definitely see caseworkers and social workers that can definitely guide them through the right path and to refer them to parenting education, child and family counseling, and be able to attend groups, organizations, and that will allow them to have a better family support system before and after the process of the termination of parental rights as well. And definitely income support, as this plays a huge role in most women who are victims of rape, since most of them do come from low income families as well, or families where unfortunately there's not enough money to come in, and therefore maybe some of the decisions that they've made, such as abortion, this is also one of the biggest things that they look into, in order for them to be provided with appropriate information, in case that they do not want the parental rights of that person who has taken advantage of them. Definitely be able to find more advocates for them, and the rise of change. Of course, we need a change, and know that women are not alone in this without advocates. Advocating for these women moving forward is an important piece for them, as it would allow them to have a better future and feel better for themselves and for the child if they do decide to have. Thank you, and this concludes the Anjabar presentation of Senate Bill 77.